Hello Libra, this is going to be your April 2021 forecast using the tarot deck today. In this video, I also look at an oracle deck to channel guidance for you, and as well as that I use astrology. So bear in mind, Libra, that if you know your rising sign, you should check the video for that out too for even more cosmic guidance for April 2021. Because the rising sign is where I read the astrology transits from. So that might be more applicable. But either way, stick around, Libra. Any placements, there's going to be plenty of guidance in this reading for you. So how I'll structure this, Libra, let's just look at the cards coming out now for what's been going on with Libra. I want to just find out what's been going on with Libra in March, what's been going on in the past for Libra. Then I will look at present going on around you now in April. Going into the future, we'll clarify, pull more cards, look at them together. But for now, I've got starting the reading with the Six of Swords. And then I've got the Seven of Pentacles followed right after that. And then I have got the Star card. Okay, so you could be dealing with an Aquarius, Libra, and if you are dealing with an Aquarius, you are hoping to do something with this person or bring about some sort of a harmony with this person, investment even. You're feeling very hopeful for either maybe just investing your time with the Aquarius maybe, which is the Star card. If it isn't that you're dealing with an Aquarius, Libra, or you had been in March, I'm seeing like that you are trying to wait something out, see how an investment pays off by taking your time, giving it, like, in fairness, you know it needs time to bloom and grow is basically what I'm seeing. We'll clarify, we'll go deeper into those even more so, and that Star card is major too. I just want to get some cards out here for the present energies before clearing these all up and going deeper. April, what themes can Libra expect to be seeing in April? So we do have quite a lineup of planets in April in your sister sign Libra in Aries. So what could that possibly mean for Libra in April? Until April 13th, 14th, Venus will be sitting opposite Libra in Aries, and until the 20th or the 19th, 20th of April, both the Sun and Mercury will be opposite to Libra in the sign of Aries too. So we'll look at the start of April. Five of Pentacles, then this is Mercury in Taurus. Okay, so Mercury moves from Aries into Taurus on April 20th. That might be a shift actually. Let's talk about that. King of Pentacles, more Taurian energy coming through actually, with fixed Earth there, so that shift could be important. And yes, Ace of Wands, it's going to be a new beginning for you in April, like kind of like a revitalized sense of like something random actually is going to come your way, and you'll be like, oh yes, that's 100% what I need to be doing, or you feel very inspired or drawn to something when that shift happens. So that's going to be very key, Aries, or for Libra. We'll look at those planets leaving your sister sign Aries because they're opposite you. For if you're a Libra rising, they're opposite your rising. If you're a Libra sun, they're opposite your sun. And oppositions it can be tense. They can be friction between, opposition, opposing. So let's see, that's gonna, I think after 20th of April, Libra, it's gonna be much more plain sailing for you basically. But let's look end of April going into May. I digress. Before we dive deeper, what could Libra expect? The Chariot, maybe not even plain sailing, plain sailing insofar as there's no blocks in your ways, but you could have momentum building. Queen of Pentacles, yeah, substance, we're starting to see results tangibly. Eight of Cups, ending the reading with just a little bit of casual soul searching and deep in search for a deeper meaning in your life, Libra, just something casual like that. Yeah, so I think there's like overwhelm in a sense until we get those planets out of Aries into Taurus, clearing that energy up for you a little bit. So let's see, but movement is happening, and I'm seeing results and change by the end of the month in what you've been working on. And what you've been working on, it's been slow to start. March was very slow with you insofar as you were almost like, I think March priority was just like getting away from the stresses of what had ever become before. And I think you found somebody that I think some of you are dealing with somebody that really like mentally stimulates you. If it isn't an Aquarius, it's somebody that you really like their ideas, and you know they're inspiring you to think differently. But it's something that you had been investing in time, energy, efforts in March, Libra. I don't think you saw the results that you wanted to quickly enough. There was progress made, and I can see that the progress made wasn't even like in a material sense. It was like you feeling proud of yourself, like, okay, I maybe didn't get everything that I wanted to accomplish in March accomplished, but did I actually accomplish things that I didn't intend to accomplish, like working on my mental health more, or like addressing other issues that kind of maybe had cropped up to the surface for us in Pisces season. That's the energy of Pisces season in March. Like we're kind of beginning again now in Aries season, like, so we're kind of, you know, getting ready to go full steam ahead. But I feel like for you, Libra, there are some issues that are still lingering that didn't get totally swept up, or sorry, completed in March, that are overflowing. And I don't think it will be until this change of energy, which I see happening in April in Taurus season, 5 of Pentacles, Mercury moves into Taurus on April 20th, which is this card, Fixed Earth, King of Pentacles, Taurus energy. You might be dealing with the Taurus, or I'm more so seeing this as this is when Aries gets, or sorry, this is when Libra, I keep calling you Aries because we're talking about this cusp here of Aries going into Taurus, but where the sun is right now. But Aries is your sister sign, Libra. So it's like you have endings and things to wrap up, but things that have been like overburdening you at this point now that you know need to kind of be tied, like all the loose ends be tied up and something like finished kind of energetically around you. But basically the timing hasn't been right because you still needed to see something. So I think that's when this shift happens. We get the sun, Venus, and Mercury out of Aries by the 20th. They'll all be in Taurus, and then you're like, okay, that focus isn't there, that glare of the sun isn't shining on me. This like ego struggle, there's been like an ego kind of issues where like you're finding yourself like you're nearly banging your head against a wall, trying to get a message across to somebody or try to have them understand something. I feel like that won't be there so much after the end, towards the end of April, which is good. So we're feeling like, I think at the start of April, we're kind of coming into it with a sense of a feeling like we don't have enough of, a bit of a scarcity mindset. And it mightn't be just money, but like, I think you probably even do have enough of money. You just think that you don't, but it's kind of like, you know, you're just worried about what next is coming. It's actually quite a stable month for you financially. So if these worries are there, Libra, maybe try to see them as just worries rather than like based in reality or concrete, because I actually do have the King of Pentacles being a very lucrative and like almost like, you know, there's a provider there for you, or something is being provided for you that you need this month. Let's see. Then I think this shift of planets out of your 7th house for Libra rising. So there might, for Libra rising, you know, end of March, most part of April, it could be more of a focus on your relationships, business partnerships, relationships, romantic sense, in the romantic sense. And that could have been like in some ways constructive actually, but in some way there could be like, it could have been like an ego struggle there, like, or a power struggle there in those elements of your life. And then when that all moves along after April 20th into when those planets leave your 7th house, Libra rising, you kind of have a greater sense of like creativity, or like kind of like you're feeling more inspired again, and because you just those issues don't need your focus as much anymore. But either way, for our Libra placements watching, Ace of Wands coming up in the month of April makes me think that you're going to hear about something or be inspired to do something, or a new beginning, or that you just see a potential for something to be created, and like you almost feel like a match has been struck and things are being lit up and illuminated for you now. And I wish you could bottle up that energy, Libra, and just like take a little sip of it when you needed to, because it's like that really fire, like ignited spark of inspiration. Wish we could bottle it. What's coming up at the end of April? Finally seeing results, finally, like, you know, seeing that there's a bit of like actual progress being made. We have the Chariot, which is number 7, and then we have our 7 of Pentacles here. So these are the 7 energies in this reading so far. 7 is about progress and manifestation, but it looks like before in March it was too slow for you. End of April going into May, we have like, you know, we've really kind of turned up the dial a little bit. Things are moving. Two thumbs up from the universe cards coming up side by side. Like if you look at this Ace of Wands closely, it's like there's a hand here with the thumb holding up, and like what else? We've got like rays coming down, fire coming up. Like this is fiery energy, which is spirit and like our will to create. And then another thumbs up from the universe card. I really read the Chariot as that. Look, it says Lord of the Triumph of Light. This looks like light is triumphant in this photo, in this imagery too. Like it's definitely winning out over anything that had been like more of a scarcity mindset. You think like you really feel alive. That's what I'm sensing. You feel alive, healthy, full of vitality. Queen of Pentacles, and we're seeing money coming in, or just like what we've been working on, we see it tangibly, we can hold it. Something might have to kind of come to our attention and become apparent to us towards the end of the month, that like now that I'm being so fulfilled, Libra, you think that like, before I clear this up, I'll do an oracle, but what I was going to say was that now I'm being so fulfilled in every way that other things just aren't like, they're just not like at the same level for me. So that's natural as we evolve and our vibration higher, and like we kind of, we're on a trajectory of like attracting things that are coming to us, that are supposed to come to us because we're in the frequency for that. We might feel like that things are, you know, negative energies are kind of starting to drain us. Do we have to do some soul searching and say, oh, I might not really fit in this community or this circle or at this, you know, hobby or whatever it is? Okay, let's look at these cards together, Libra, and let's look at these cards. I'm going to just pull an oracle card to ground our reading again before clearing up these cards. So let's have a look. This is the Chinese goddess of compassion, Kuan Yin, and I want to take this as a message from Libra's highest, most compassionate self to them now. What would they say from the oracle to Libra? A message from Libra's highest, most compassionate self at this time. So what do we have here? We've got the Lotus Throne. The Lotus Throne, pretty. I'm going to read this, okay? From the guidebook here, which is number 37, the Lotus Throne. What does it have to say about this? The same lotus wisdom that enlightens beloved Kuan Yin and all spiritual masters is the very same lotus light within your own heart, beloved. It can take great courage to trust your own inner light, to ascend the throne of your own inner spiritual authority, especially if the light of others around you seems more powerful than your own. You are being asked to trust this inner guidance above all others now. Have faith in your own heart and know that you are divine. Okay. So this goes on to say that sometimes we might need an external guide to help us to make this connection, that we are actually closer to our own divine wisdom than we may consciously realize. But sometimes we fall into a habit of believing others may know more of what is good or true for us than we do ourselves. Sometimes out of habit and conditioning, it is just easier to see the divine light in others than within our own heart. But that's very true, right, Libra? We're all made of the same substance. We're all light beings. So while we may look at others and say like, oh, they're just shining brighter, or they're radiating, and you feel maybe that you are not, or you're in a more darker place, that know that we're actually all have that exact same light within us. It's just a frequency that needs to be activated. Okay, and does this mean that maybe as well, Libra, I would take something from that card equally, that different times in our lives, like you know, we kind of are guided always by light, or you hear expressions of guiding light, or you know, follow the light and things like that. So would it be maybe even possible that something is coming up for you now, Libra, where somebody is lighting up for you and you feel drawn towards them, maybe like a spiritual guru or teacher, and asking for assistance? Like, that's nothing. Asking for assistance is never wrong, right? It's just maybe it's just asking for somebody to help you access your light again, basically. Okay, we'll take from the oracle what you will. Let's go on then and pull some more tarot cards and clear up these rows that have gone. Let's see. Six of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, the Star card. Clear this up for Libra, the Star card in particular. Wow, that is so pretty, the Star card. It's like, that is the light that I think that that card is talking about, the Lotus Throne. I'm sort of seeing that now. The Star card in all of its like luminescent glow. So I've got the Sun card, speaking of light. Wow, okay, yep, the Sun card coming through. And then also I've got the Four of Wands, which is Venus in Aries, which is where we have Venus currently today and in this time frame. And let's talk about what Venus sitting opposite Libra rising means. It actually makes you very communication with the person you're dealing with, be it a romantic partnership or a business partnership, really, really smooth, really fortuitous. So that could be coming out really strongly now, that if there's an important conversation you would like to have with one of those people in your life, that Libra rising before April 14th, really powerful time to do it. And that's what we've got here in the past energy here. If this is Libra Sun, Venus sitting opposite your Sun, watch out for the Sun card. Ooh, yes, ego. That's the only kind of negative I see with the Sun card, is just, you know, Sun is life source. Of course it's going to have an ego. The world revolves around it, duh. But ego can come up and a kind of clash, because Sun is so powerful, you know, that and that is our ego. So, you know, sometimes that can be an opposition then for Libras with Libra Sun, while Venus might be opposite them in Aries. Other than that, Libra, astrology aside, this is awesome. You got away from something that was stressing you out. You did not need this, and it was an ending. It transitioned into something not perfect yet. Lord of Success unfulfilled, not perfect yet. Work has to be done, but it's better. It got better. So what we're progressing. What more can you ask for? The Star card. Okay, you can ask that. Hello, universe. I separated myself from the mental triggers that came before the Six of Swords that got me to this state of anxiety or state of worry in my mind or mental anguish. And now, look, I'm looking after myself. I'm tending to everything I couldn't do. The water bearer, Aquarius, the tending, like water is healing, right? And this looks like it looks like all of these are kind of like, these are all the emblems of the planets that we can visibly see in the night sky, Saturn being the furthest away, okay? So, you know, this is what we look up to, the stars and the infinite wisdom of the universe. We are so insignificant, maybe comparatively we may feel, but this is just this reminder, like, that the same light and that exists within us, exists within everybody here on earth. And I would go as far as to say even within animals. And, you know, there is this like life and light, and the Star card and the Sun card, life and light. And that's starting to become more apparent to you, Libra. This is really beautiful. You might have had a real a real sort of an awakening at the end of March going into April. Oh yeah, so other than that, I was saying, like, now you're tending to yourself, the wisdom, you're looking up into the cosmos. You can actually see, not all the time, of course, but it is possible to actually see Saturn with the naked eye. Some of us got to experience that. Actually, if you looked up on December 20th, 2020, and, you know, the weeks surrounding that date, you would have actually seen Saturn and Jupiter up there in the sky, and it was pretty spectacular. That happens every 20 years. Again, Libra, I digress. What the heck? Let me go back to this. This is basically just saying that, Libra, look up into the sky, hug a tree, look up and just appreciate nature and all the wisdom that comes with it. I do feel like that you are kind of feeling very much like your authentic self. If you're dealing with somebody, Aries and Venus is, you know, very, very sexy energy. If you're dealing with somebody like that just makes you feel like your authentic self, like, you know, like it's very passionate, and that's beautiful. The Sun is in Aries, where it's exalted, where the Sun loves to be, and Venus is in Aries. Well, Venus doesn't really love to be in Aries. You know, Venus is the planet of harmony in Mars's child, Aries, the planet of war. But there's passion, there's sparks. So there's sparks flying for you, for Libra. Let's keep going. Five of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. once we leave behind the worry or fear of rejection or fear of abandonment that we've been carrying, we actually get into a really secure place where we don't care if, you know, not that we don't care. Fear of abandonment is not is very real, so it's not like we wouldn't care about that, but we feel secure enough that it's not a pressing worry for us. And then all these like cool opportunities that we aren't expecting come by for us. Let's clear it up. What's happening in April for Libra and Libra rising? I have got the Eight of Pentacles and I have got the Knight of Wands. I get when I see this, I see throwing yourself into something, or like, yeah, like, you know, like head first going like all guns blazing into work, into production, into like focus is just really intensified. Yeah, that makes sense. Especially if there'd been ego struggles, which can be indicated with the King of Pentacles. Like this is a strong, stubborn energy, you know. It's just like, though, I think though as well, like Libra, you actually, you know, typically, you know, Aries season is the first season of the whole zodiacal year, so it is when we're throwing ourselves into things energetically. Taurus season comes along and then we'll ground all of that. So all of our initiatives, what were you initiating end of March, going into April? See how you can, you know, you had, I think, been acting more impulsively or like actually moving more around that. You might now start to want to ground things like that. But you know what? I kind of see it like, I see like not much time to ground. I see it like you've just been quickly inspired rather again and again during the month of April, especially towards the end. Then I think it's when you're going to really start seeing progress. But it'll be some of you Libra watching, it'll be on to the next thing. Like as soon as you complete something or like finally kind of get to grips with something, then you're starting to see results and things by the end of the month going to May. But that won't even be satisfying enough for you Libra. You're almost like on to the next thing, on to the next thing. Okay, I got what I wanted. Even just if you saw 10% of what you wanted in terms of progress, you'd be happy to go on to the next thing, which is maybe out of character for some of you, I'm thinking, but it seems like there's just a lot of fiery energy coming up this month and passion. Maybe things have been very passionate in general, like that's a very passionate ending of March. That's a very passionate ending of April, leading into May. So let's see. Passion is good. You've fire in your belly, or somebody's bringing out this in you right now, Libra. Let's see, the Chariot, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Eight of Cups. Going to clear that up. Okay, we'll close out the reading with the couple more cards for you. More fire and passion, but it's really stabilized now. It's fixed in the King of Wands. Cool. Nine of Wands. Yeah, more fiery passion. And you know, like there is no stopping you now, I suppose, by the end of the month. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah, the Chariot, there's no stopping you. Lord of the Triumph of Light. Okay, so that's like a really, really powerful kind of just like momentum and success. And it's like telling you though, Libra, you're ready to take it up a notch. We're ready to kick it from it. We just see the transition just happening. Like, this is why tarot cards are so amazing. They like word for word, we mature from the Knight of Wands. We get this kind of progress. Hello, pass, go, level up, collect 200. You are ready for the next phase. You're ready to do a little bit more. The Chariot. And then we just see the natural evolution of it to the King of Wands, which is right here for us to see. So it's kind of like pass, go, re-up, collect 200. What has that given you? Well, yeah, I do actually see a sense of money kind of, or something that was needed. If it wasn't like if it wasn't money, like literal money, like a bloody like a tip on a stock or something, like you were just given an insight or something. Something that was tangible though, something that you could actually see the results of. Eight of Cups, what were you thinking about leaving behind in terms of this? Anything that you are watching your back on all the time. That's probably, if something has to go, Libra, for you right now, and go, it's not as dramatic. I don't see a dramatic ending here. I see a behavioral pattern having to go, a dependency maybe on something that has to go, emotional or otherwise. The past, maybe, you know, there's like the past being comforting. But so what, if anything has to go right now for you to just like really make the most out of this powerful, like the King of Wands, like you're talking about going into business here or doing something huge, Libra. Like this is big level up energy. This is big success. This is successful energy. So what is it? And it is, there's egotistical energy here too, which is not a bad thing in this reading. And especially when the sun isn't opposite your sun, Libra, anymore, that's when it can get a little bit like the sun opposite the sun, the two really brightest things battling it out. That'll be nicer when that's not there, which will be this time period. Okay, love to see that. So can I get to the point? Nine of Wands. Okay, so we might have to leave behind just something where we feel like we're continuously watching our back over this. Somebody or something that you just kind of always feel is like the monkey on your shoulder or almost kind of creeping up behind you, or that you just always have to keep an eye on, if that makes sense to you, Libra. That's what I would say is could be some sort of a block towards the end of the month, if you know what that means. This is going to be your April 2021 reading. Oh, look at this little flyaway guy. Pleasure reading for you today as always, Libra, and I'm going to have a love and relationship reading coming out for you soon. In the meantime, feel free to hit share, like, and subscribe, and we will catch up again on your next reading, your May 2021 forecast, but I'll have some love and relationships in the interim. Thanks.